So let's get started. I have a couple of different dashboards open here. One each. I have a series, so I have your favorite series, and I have its counterpart, your favorite track. So we're going to be going over some of the things with both to kind of get to the interplay of series and tracks. But what we're going to be doing right now is taking a look at the dashboard. So let's go over here. Both are going to be fairly similar. Um, but I'm going to be switching in between the two just to make better demonstrations. So your favorite track here has a header, has a little icon, and it also has the buttons that'll take you to different sections here. These are actually going to correspond to things on the area bar. We also can see some more information here about my subscription. We also get the sandbox. So the sandbox link is going to be down here. Folks who are familiar with the sandbox, you're definitely able to go in and play around with that and get test everything out there. And so let's get started. I'm going to go switch back. You're going to see for a series it's fairly similar, and we're going to go into this area right here. It looks like somebody has beaten me to adding in a profile image and a profile header image as well. And we're going to edit this. So I want to show you how we would do this. So right now it says looks good. It's going to filter out for things like size, um, sorts of ideas. So it's going to want to look for something with this. It's going to try to find if it has too much text or profanity. It's going to try to filter out for that. Don't do anything like that. You're able to just find it and add it in. And you can see it's added already, so I'm not going to switch it, but you could switch it up here to update it. You can also use these templates here. If you are design focused, you can do that. Also, we can create some of those for you. So just let us know if you need help designing those. We can definitely help out with that. Header image is going to work fairly similar as well. I'm going to skip the edit profile because we're going to leave this page. But it also has the MyRacePass app, so it's going to tell us if we're listed or not in the app. So let's edit our profile. It might ask you every now and again to just update the profile, see if everything's correct. And so for my series, it was founded today. We can put in our mailing address or contact information here. Some basic information. The track information is going to have a little bit more about the track itself because it has a physical track composition. So these sorts of things, you can see mine has, besides it's a track, it has an actual physical location as opposed to a series, and it has track features. So it's going to have a bit more than the series one. But the thing that both of them will share is this aliases. And so it's going to ask if you would like, you can create an alias. So let's say I wanted to catch like another spelling of my track or my series. So I could request one in here. So if I wanted to do, in my case, let's do a misspelling of mine. Or let's say that my track used to be called something in the past, and I want to make sure that even if people think of that old name, we could do that. So if I put in this and I requested it, it'd work so that I could use it on both, essentially. We review all of those to make sure that they are legitimate, and if you need any more information or anything like that about that, let us know. But once that's done, you have an alias there, and we can add that in. Billing is going to be pretty straightforward. This is going to be where you manage your plan right now. Since mine is a test one, it doesn't have the same sort of thing here, but we'll go to my track and test. Some fake billing in here. So you can see my billing. You can manage your invoices, your subscription. You can see the rewards for tracks. And tracks are also able to see their rewards here and manage how all of those. If you need more information about rewards, let us know. And I believe we sent out some information on that. So from here, we'll move right along into season management. And I'm going to work with my series first. It says it has not found any seasons. So we're going to add one for now. So I'm just going to do my 2019 one. So my 2019 season, when I do this, it's going to have this overview, and it's going to have this for both. So let's kind of show both. I'll work in this one. So with season, it's going to have the tracks. So um, you work with us, and we'll add in those tracks. I'm actually going to go here, this other side, and add this series. So you add in the series essentially that are going to be racing there, and then you're able to add that. So let's add in your favorite series. They're going to be yep. And it's going to tell me that what class it's racing to. So every series has a series class that's assigned to it. In this case, so in mine, your favorite series is a sport compact class, which is good because that means that I don't have one. So, but if I'm racing it, we want to make sure because these sport compacts are going to be a part of the season classes, and we want to make sure that we don't have any conflicts there. We just don't. So we're good. We're able to add more classes if I wanted to. If this was a new season, I could go to my season classes and pull them over. So if I had classes from 2018, which I do, I have these two classes that I raced. I can pull them over, or I can pull over other classes. If I'm doing a brand new class, let's say if it's a sanction, I can switch and do one from a sanction. I'm also able to just pick a brand new class from here as well. And if I picked boats, it breaks it down more from there. If you need to manage the classes, like do the name overrides or anything like that, you can go to that manage classes you saw there, and it'll take you there. So once we have our classes in and ready to go with our series, we can go back to this overview because this overview is going to kind of give you the idea of what we're looking for. We can add in a registration. So there's 3 different types of registrations that you can do here. There are yearly registrations, there are event registrations, and there are general registrations. So the difference between all 3 of those, so yearly, you can only have one. That's going to be for the season. So you can do one per network, so per track, per series. You can have one yearly registration. That can have all of your classes in it. You can't have multiple yearly registrations. Event registration, if you're doing a special event and you don't want them to be part of the general, like yearly, they just register for one event. Say it's a special event and you know that you would have a lot more drivers than would race weekly. You could do that. You could do a one event registration. And general registration is going to be for a non-racing event. So you could do banquets from here. You can do a lot of different things, actually. Anything that would require people to sign up that they don't necessarily have to be drivers or competitors to do. You're also going to notice that in a lot of places we've changed the word driver to competitor to accommodate for a lot of different other types of racing that we have. So we'll hit next. With ours, you can see that this is going to look very similar to how registration used to be. We get to set our open and close dates. Mine's for the year, so I'm just going to set mine to end December 31st, and let's do at 11:55. They have till 5 minutes before the end of the year to register. It's going to start today. I can put in fees. We can link up a PayPal account and collect any fees we want. And we have that open. Right now, we can have a little bit to take a look at it, see how everything's going before we set it as inactive. We're also able to add in which classes we want to register. So I'm going to do that here. It's going to be pulling from the classes that I had when I configured them there. And with those, I'm also able to do additional prices. So we can have one general fee, but let's say that if you're racing the 410 sprint class, we just need a little bit extra. We can set as an additional price there for them to register for that. We'll just set it active. You're able to see this online registration right here. This is what the form would look like. This is live. You could actually fill it out now if you did want to race at my track. I don't know if I'd advise it, but you certainly could. You also can share this too to your various Facebook and Twitter pages right from here. This is that yearly registration. When someone registers, you're able to view the registrants and confirm them. We also can add in a registrant right here. So if one of my drivers, Corey Coldcuts, races, we can add him in right here and add in his information. Say he filled out, he just filled out the form. We could put him in right here, put in his information. And we're able to go by class. You're able to see all the registrations by all the classes or all classes. So you can see Corey's was right here for that 410. And you'll be able to see the invoices, and if he has a card, you're able to see a lot more information. We're also able to even change the class. So if he made a mistake and I made a mistake, he wasn't actually supposed to be 410 wing sprint. He was actually supposed to be 305s. We can switch it just like that. So it's a lot, it's a lot more lenient with those kind of clerical errors from there. We're also able to go into events. So this is going to be where we have our schedules. So I have a couple different schedules here. I have sort of a winter schedule for just January, and I have my main schedule right here. If I needed to add another schedule, I can. So you can add in a schedule. So if it's sort of your main schedule, you can do that. If you do point averages and you have a special, I highly advise creating a separate schedule to go with that so that you don't apply the points to a schedule and throw off a point average, since points are applied per a schedule basis. Again, also, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to hit in that chat button with Alt and H and ask any questions, even if it's not anything I'm going over right now. I will get to every question after the demonstration's over. But if there's anybody that joined in a little bit later, let me know. We'll get you going there. So let's take a look here at my events right here at your favorite track. You can see that it's broken up by months here. If I wanted to add more events to the schedule, I definitely can. So what we're going to be doing, let's add in some February events. Let's race every Friday. I can put in information about this when the pits open. Let's say they open at 4:13. That sounds like a perfectly good time. 4:15. And then I can add in my classes. And then add. If I made a mistake, you see it's actually going to keep a lot of this information for me so I can copy it. Let's say I made a mistake and actually 2.8 wasn't one. I just misclicked it. That's okay. We can just discard it. It's going to be gone now. We're also able to, just keep going through this. So I'm just going to discard some of these. Got a little ahead of myself, but if I did something like started an event, didn't do it, you're going to see that it has a pending event right up here. Let's say I started processing, I shut it down. Or let's say that my season or my series added in, they're said that they're going to be racing at my track. Then it'd be an event, and it's not an event that's on there. I'm actually able to process that date and basically confirm that event and add it into the schedule. This won't show until I do something about it, though. So this event here, until I process it and add it in, add all these classes, it is not processed. It's not complete. Now let's take one of these events here. We're actually able to see this one's completed. So we can actually go to race management and view it if we wanted to. We can click on it, see all of the, who entered in, how many entries I had, if I had a specific sanction attached to it, a season. I'm able to add, this one I wouldn't add tickets for, but since it technically already happened, but I could add tickets to these events here. And doing that, would work very similar to how you'd been adding tickets in the past, where you would add in by this section right here. So the different prices available, different sections, and you add those, and you can add that in. And you'll be able to manage the tickets specifically in its own tab right here, which I'll get to in a little bit. Let's say one of these events actually was canceled for whatever reason. We can actually go to event status, and we can say that it was rained out. And we have officially rained out, or in this case, snowed out at an event. We're also able to do that inside the event itself. You're going to see down at the bottom here, it's going to say it rained out. We could do this to undo it. If we want to, we can make it run as scheduled. Say we changed our minds in this case. I can also copy an event. So if I like how I have everything set up here, I could just copy an event over for a specific day. This would be really handy if you're running like a multi-day show. Would be a really nice thing to do, and you copy it over for multiple days if you so choose, and you're able to get to race management right from here. Couple places. That's one of many places you're able to get to race management. You can get it from here. A lot of different ways to do that. I accidentally clicked on something. But that would be how we'd manage those events. We're going to move right along to points. And points are going to be working a lot the same as before. So it's broken out by class. We can see all of our point classes here. We can see which events is included into this total. So we can see which ones are not. These are events that I just didn't have points added to that ran. So we're able to see those points, how much they earned. If I clicked on this person specifically, it'll break it down more where they earned everything. Same with my other classes. I can also filter out the point standings. So if I wanted to see the point standings after the specific date, I could. So there wasn't any points added first. But as you go on week to week, let's say we wanted to see what the points looked like 4 weeks ago, then just a month. You could view the point standings and it will show and cut off all the dates that happened after your filter here, in case you needed to check some things out or do anything like that. You might also be wondering why Chuck Ground here does not have any earnings. His earnings went to the owner, which you're able to see. You can see the owners here if I need to, at a glance look. And so he earned this amount right here, but doesn't have any points because the points go to the drivers in this thing. We're also able to do payments, so we're able to see my payments, who I paid inside the race itself. So you can see in this race, I printed out checks, and it has my checks, how much I got paid for those. Suspensions will be something that'll be coming very soon. If you click on that right now, it'll say as such. And we'll be excited to announce more about that in a bit, but wanted to cover that. So that would be the season management part of things. The main goal is that you're able to manage your points, your events, everything a lot quicker, a lot easier, and a lot more efficiently, adding with the schedule from there. And again, if you have any questions, be sure to hit Alt and H and you go there. Race management is going to stay relatively the same as you might remember it. That's really not the focus of this demonstration, is to show you how to use race management. If you do have any questions about race management itself, though, feel free to let me know. There's also a help button here that'll take you. But I did want to point out that that is a button that you can click. In this case, it's going to take me to my next event, which is for Friday. I had briefly touched on tickets. So at the tickets, we can manage our tickets here. We can add in tickets. We're also able to process events after the fact. Um, so I can edit the ticket status and say it ran, and then I'll put the funds in our account and share it. So you're actually able to see a lot of that right here. A lot of information at your disposal. Another thing that we've moved is reports. So we moved the reports to its own separate spot here on the area bar. We've also broken them up differently than we have in the past. So we have entry reports, lineup reports, and you can see all the different lineup reports. Result reports, you can see the different result reports, and point reports and competitors. So you're actually able to get all the competitors, all their stats, how many their shows. So this is the driver show report essentially. So you're able to find those right from here if you need to. You can find a lot of this stuff here too. In reports, you can go to all reports right here. And you're also able to go to the settings here too. So if you needed point schemes, you can find those here. That's the setting. Classes, drivers, the contact list. A lot of this will be in a different spot than normal, but sort of in one area. So it's not more. It's sort of a lot more joined in together. And then the last area that I'm going to be going over here is this web management. So here's where you're going to be able to share news, media. Your profiles drivers is going to be here, pit board. A lot of things here are going to seem really familiar, kind of to the old style. We just moved a lot of that into the season management so that it can be used in the new way. So if you have a website through us, you're going to be managing a lot of those pages here, the same as you have before, but in this kind of globe area, this web management. The next button here, we can open up the profile. You can see the profile or your plus site. And then the settings are going to be here. So we're going to be able to find those settings right here. So the members, a lot of this information you're going to be able to find right here. Connected apps, things like that. The help button has now been moved here. So you can find help. It's actually broken up into a few different spots. Even the videos are a lot more direct than they were previously. And you can see my login here, so I can log in and out. We'll go back here to this dashboard. You can see a lot of that here. And it's going to be there. So you see those alerts and everything. That's sort of the quick view of how to do everything and what the new layout, how everything's going to be sorted there. If you have any specific questions, I'm going to open it up for questions here. For as long as it takes, you can hit Alt and H to ask any questions about anything I've gone over or anything I have not gone over, and we'll be happy to help out. So again, that's Alt and H for the chat. If you have any questions about adding in that's in there, events or season management, anything you need there. So yeah, some other things too you might be able to take a look at here. Again, you're able to manage drivers same as before. So able to see my drivers here, change those as I have before. And again, that's also in profiles drivers. If you need to, we can also complete a registration, show what that would look like. So let's view my registrant here. Switch to my favorite series. I should have gone to my favorite track. So we'll go to all classes, finish this out. And again, this would be if we were doing it manually. If you link to the direct, if you link to that and they filled this out, this would be filled out for them. Again, Alt and H, if you have any questions, always happy to answer those for you guys. Anything you need. Able to mark if he's a rookie, the transponder numbers. So you can see I confirmed the driver. It's also marking if he's a rookie. I can add in more information. I can add owner information from here, even after he's done. I'm also able to export this, so a little bit more control over everything as well. And Alt and H, if you have any questions, chat them in. Otherwise, stay for a little bit longer here, but we'll be wrapping up here. There are no questions, wrapping up here in the next couple minutes. All right. Well, it was great talking to everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let us know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of the day and even better tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow going over a lot of the same information, same call-in information if you need that as well. Thanks so much.